Alright, welcome back. This is going to be round 5 of the regional I had last week. I had a few issues with some of the other matches and had to scrap them, unfortunately. But yeah, this is going to be against Memento. And it's not a matchup I know too well, but I gain more insight the more I play against it. Like the general interactions, I'm more familiar with. Like I know that they have a fusion that pops. I know they have like a hand trap that they can steal your monster with. I know they can try to set up a fusion summon to get the fusion that pops at a particular point where it can be the most devastating. Like I get that, but technical play and anticipating optimally is where I'm kind of lacking. Okay, so he starts with Prulia, and I contemplate whether to open it with Terratop, and I don't want to give him any cards, so I decide not to summon the Terratop, and I'll probably use it the following turn. So I play with Adventure, and I think I have a way to just play around Puruli and just get stuff to the graveyard instead, and this is the way you do it, because I could easily just go search for the Griffin, but I kind of want him to hand trap me so I can snipe his hand and allow my very minimalistic setup be enough and sufficient, because I'll know his entire hand, so I'll know how to interact a bit better, even though I'm lacking a bit of the insight against his deck. So I contemplate whether I even give him a card off of this Griffin. So I decide to just not give him anything and keep pushing the tactics, right? So then I go special. If he interacts here, then I go tactics, right? Reduces another card. He hand rips himself. So then I'm gonna go ahead and dump 2. I'm just hoping that there's not a Fualos as well, because that would be kind of annoying. Because Prulia is like the worst one. Like we struggle playing past it, but this hand was able to do so because I can discard the Solfador and then summon it from graveyard and then play off the Graven deck instead of from hand, as we usually would, right? Because our hand has a Terratop, so initially if we didn't have the Adventure Engine, we would kind of be forced to play into it a bit more. But luckily we open up Adventure, we open up Inclusion, and that allows us to pivot and play around it. So usually what happens here with Solfador, we dump the purple and the yellow, which is Slicer and Smiger, and then that converts into a Tristaros. And I already have clusters, so I don't really need to go for the whole add of Smiger and stuff, you know, which is quite nice. And I go ahead and use Tristaros effect, pop a Synchro Control, summon 2 Crystron from deck. Okay, so always remember, I can't stress this enough, always summon a Tristaros and a 5. Don't summon 2 5s, because then you play to Nibiru much harder. And you can always chain if he does have the nib, right? Because you establish your Tristaros. So then I'm going for the Infinity setup. And I have access to my Inclusion Reborn, so that sets up my Korin Gandrax. It allows me to keep the float, which is, it's an obscure setup. You can argue that you can possibly like make Drax on your turn and then revive Tristaros, but I feel like having this obscurity of like being able to go Tristaros summon, go Dragster, or go into Korin Gandrax right away instead of committing to the Dragster and having to like negate with Dragster first, reducing it to level 5, and then synchroning that away. You know, it's a bit weird. So I decided to go this way, because this way I can float. I can possibly pop my own thing in case he has like Droplet or something, and you know, just pop the Sofufnir, you know, and then float to C3, and then try to get something like that and get Dragster that way. So then he goes Prosperity, and I go ahead and chain my Tristaros, and I'm going to make a Dragster now. So then now, since I'm ditching the whole Korin Gandrax line, then now I can go for another synchro play, assuming he can able, like, because Sofufnir is a float basically, right? It is able to float into a C3, and then C2 can synchro, and then that can possibly float it to another card, you know, and just basically keep me alive. And then he reveals a few cards there, and from recollection, he didn't seem too happy. he was like, oh, it's kind of annoying. And then on resolution, I think this is where I drop the Griffin. Yeah, I dropped the Griffin here. So then a special Griffin here. So, sorry about the glare. The glare, it was like a pretty bad spot, but like that's where I was kind of like situated. So I equip the Dragoback. I didn't do it last turn because, you know, he was tactics, and then that's an easy negate. I'm going to negate that regardless. I've double omnis, punch trap negate, and then he just scoops, and I'm like, okay, game 1 done. Okay, but now it's a matter of game 2. I still don't know. Like I have an idea, a general idea, what to expect based on the interactions, but in the sequence and the way he can do them, that's where I kind of lack the insight, right? Whether he's, I guess, prioritizing the nuke or the steal, right? Like which one, and you know, that those type of sequencing that I'm completely unfamiliar with is what I think hurts me in this matchup the most. So then I'm thinking of what to take out, and usually what I feel comfortable setting out like some of the adventure engine going second, because I want to be able to simplify, because I feel like the Crystron engine is so consistent that I can push past a few hand traps with those and just simplify the game state, get it to a grind game, and just hopefully my Crystron engine just capitalizes.
Autopilot standing by.
So now we start game 2. He goes first, and I can't remember his hand. What was his? I forgot what he opens with. He opens up with, that's the pretty sure it's the Anguish. That's Anguish. That one, whenever it's no more special summon, you can add a Memento monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of itself. And then the other effect is you can target a level 2 or lower Memento monster in your graveyard, destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you do, special summon the targeted monster. So like all these cards are based off destruction, and this is the horse. This is like, okay, this is the one I mainly know to interact with, and usually you would ash this, but then I end up ogreing this because like that means he has to pop something else, and usually what he wants to do is pop a higher level so he can send more mementos to the graveyard through that effect. But in this case, he's just gonna pop Anguish, and Anguish is only a level 3, so he can only send like up to the level 3, right? So what the horse does basically, if you do not control any face-up monsters other than Memento monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control and send any number of Memento monsters with different names from your deck to the graveyard, whose total levels are less than or equal to the destroyed monster's original level. And usually you want a 5, so you can have more than just 3 monsters. But he reveals tactics, and I just end up scooping because like there's no point. Like I'm pretty sure he can do his entire board, and my hand is just not that great. So
engaged. Autopilot standing by.
We start game 3, and my hand is pretty buns. So I mean, I have to start. I have to bluff set. I have to bluff set this Dragoback, but I have interaction, so I can simplify. If he just does anything, I can get engine through Tristarls, get my Sophafthian Engrave, get my TEESPRING, my Smyger, you know, assuming I can possibly like hold him off. And he just summons Perulia, and I'm like, oh, well, this is not good. And he activates I think this is he summons a Goblin, right? He tributes a monster, summons a Goblin from deck, and it's the Memento Goblin guy. And then the Goblin guy gets him a few cards. Like it's like I think it's like a Solfador, if I remember correctly, where he can dump 2. And I think about it here. I'm really thinking about it. I was like, did he break? I'm like, and then I kind of like try to like mislead and be deceptive and look at my face down, like, oh, maybe it's a judgment or something, you know. And then finally, I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and ash that. Let's ash that, you know. I'm still out of engine though, because I think he just passes, and I'm like, oh wow. Okay, this is going to be one of those games. And a lot of the time, you're going to have these type of games where you don't get everything you need to follow through. And you need to be sure that you can defend yourself, assuming you have to pass. And that's what these hand traps are for. That's what the droplets is for. And he sets 2 and passes again. And I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so I draw Solfador. I can go extremely greedy I can go extremely greedy here and just tribute summon for the Sofador, but I lose to an Imperm, I lose to Ash, I lose to so many things. So I'd rather just keep it in hand and play off this Tristaros, right? I don't want to give rid of this Tristaros, because that means if he interacts with Tristaros, then that's another interaction that he has to waste on that, and I still have Sofador for the following turn. And I can just tribute summon for Nib later. And he summons Darkblade. And then Darkblade, what this one does is, so he's trying to, yeah, okay, so he goes, yeah, he goes Darkblade effect, change Tristaros, he changed Imperm, I change Droplet, discard Sofador, and then he chains his Fusion. It's basically like Quick Play Fusion. And he dodges the Droplet, but that means I can negate his twin, this Fusion. And this Fusion lets him do a few things. So we're just resolving the chain. Yeah, so basically, so first off, Darkblade. Darkblade, what does Darkblade do? It goes, if this card is normal summon or normal special summon, you can discard one Memento card, then target one spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it. During the main phase, you can destroy one Memento monster you control, and if you do, special summon one level 3 or lower Memento monster from your deck. So in that case, he popped the Fusion, because it's no longer on the field, popped the Fusion, the Fusion was negated. And then he's just triggering a bunch of effects that just trigger whenever they're destroyed. But yeah, the twin, any monster destroyed by battle with your Memento monster is banished instead. You can only use each of the following effects of Memento Twin Dragon once per turn. If this card is Fusion Summon, you can destroy one Memento monster in your hand or face up field, and if you do, add up to 2 Memento monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. If this Fusion Summon card is destroyed, you can special summon one level 6 or lower Memento monster from your graveyard. So he can't do the first one, but he can do the second one where it's destroyed. He can special summon, and he just swarms me, and he activates the first effect of Darkblade. And he's debating, and he ditches the Lancia, which means he's gonna go for it. And he thinks that he has enough to push through, and he doesn't think I have enough interactions. So then he pushes on, and I chain Nib. And once again, I'm not sure if this was a properly timed Nib or not, right? Because once again, I don't have that much insight to have this optimal technical play, you know. So then I ended up summing a token. He said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I have to destroy a monster anyways, and then add a memento spell through the other guy's effect." So he activates Bone Party. So Bone Party is like basically what's the remember? Destroy one memento monster in your hand or face up field. Take one memento monster from your deck with a different name and either add it to your hand or special summon it in defense position. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one memento monster you control. If it attacks a defense position monster, this turn inflict piercing damage to your opponent. And you can only use each effect once per turn. So then I'm just reading that card and I'm like, I think this is important. And I wasn't sure if he was able to fuse anything or not. So I just ogred it because I felt like, okay, you need as many materials as possible. Because I'm from recollection is you need 3 bodies for the other guy. The one that pops, you know. So then he just passes. I'm like, oh, okay. I was surprised when he passed. Like, I was surprised because I was like, okay, well, I didn't think that was gonna be enough, and I guess it was. I top deck Fateful. This is not great, and I'm at a point where I'm like, do I destroy these guys? Do I attack these guys? Like, what do I do? Because I'm not too sure what these guys do. Like, I'm not sure what this is gonna turn into if I get rid of these guys, you know. So at this point, many of you might know like exactly what to do. But this is me just freestyling. Okay, like what do I do? Do I just attack these guys? I mean, I can't let them have bodies on board for the following turn. I feel like that's going to be way too beneficial for him if he keeps those bodies on board. So for sure, I have to clear the horse. I have to clear the other guy, and I know that one of the Memento cards triggering Grave. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. And right here, I'm just debating like, what do I do? It's like, oh no, I had no clue. I don't have the insight, you know. So all I know is what they're capable of doing, but I'm not sure the attrition style that they can benefit from all these cards. So he summons out Memento Akihorn, Akahiron, or I don't know how to pronounce it. So basically, if a memento monster is in your hand or face up field is destroyed by battle or card effect, well, this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure what that's gonna do. And he just draws and sets and passes, and I'm like, okay, well, okay, it's about time. it's about time that we just get things going. But I still don't know what that set is. So I don't want to go into it blindly. So I want to take the slow game. I think I can manage the resource game if I just take it slow, because he's top decking, and I feel like I can get my full setup, and I think it should be okay. So I got to make sure I get rid of the back row. Like, I'm not gonna be able to attack directly because my move is go for an SP line. SP gets rid of the back row, just to ensure that my Sophader resolves, to ensure that her stars resolve. That all this goes unhindered, because I want to make sure that I can establish something. So I go SP, banish the set, and he's thinking about it, and he's like, okay, no. And it was a droplet. I was like, okay, good call. So then now I'm like, there's nothing in hand. I'm free to go, and I'm just going now. And he's like, surely you can OTK. And I was like, no, I can't. I can't attack you directly. So he's gonna live. Whether he's capable of pushing past an Omni and cluster, I'm not sure. But this was one of those games where, like, it's one of those games where we just both brick, and then the first one to get to their engine or first one to get to their sequencing just wins. And this is one of the situations. And he's just sitting there like, okay, I'm not sure what to do. Like, and it seems like, yes, this is kind of cooked. And then he just goes, no, now you got it. He just scoops, and I was like, oh yeah, GG.
This man was like my hand is slayable. Like I like next time, but I didn't think about the ghost orb. I think the ghost orb send you there. Yeah. I was like, I fucking lose. Fuck yeah. Crazy.